The moment you let everyone know everything about you, you give them the power to control your story. But guess what? Your life is not a public diary. The most successful, powerful, and mysterious people in the world have one thing in common. They know when to stay silent. So listen up, because today I'm going to tell you why you need to stop oversharing and start owning your power. Silence is not weakness. It is power, it is control. It is the weapon of those who understand the art of influence. The world we live in glorifies noise. People are obsessed with talking, with posting, with sharing every thought, every struggle, every victory. But the truth? The most powerful people are the ones who know when to speak and when to remain silent. Think about it. When you walk into a room, who commands the most attention? The one who talks the loudest? No. It's the one who observes. The one who doesn't rush to speak, who listens, who absorbs the energy around them before deciding if their words are even necessary. Because here's the secret most people never understand. When you master silence, you master the room. There is a certain mystery in silence. It makes people curious. It makes them wonder. And when people wonder about you, they become drawn to you. They start guessing, trying to understand what you're thinking, what you're planning. And that is exactly where you want to be, in control, while the rest of the world is scrambling for clues about you. Look at history. The most feared, most respected individuals were never the ones who spoke too much. A king does not explain his strategy before the war. A chess master does not reveal his moves before the checkmate. The lion does not roar before the hunt. They all move in silence. And that silence is what makes them unstoppable. Have you ever noticed how people react when you don't give them too much? When you don't reveal your emotions, your fears, your weaknesses, they get uncomfortable. They don't know how to handle it. They ask questions, they probe, they push, because they want access. They want to decode you, to figure out your next move, to take away your element of surprise. But when you stay silent, you remain in control. Think about your own life. How many times have you shared your plans with people only to feel their energy shift? You tell them about your goals and suddenly they start giving you reasons why it won't work. You tell them about someone you love and suddenly they plant seeds of doubt. You tell them your fears and the next time you argue, those very fears are thrown back in your face. People don't always listen to understand. Sometimes they listen to use your words against you later. And this is where silence becomes your shield. The less people know about your struggles, the less they can manipulate you. The less they know about your plans, the less they can sabotage them. The less they know about your thoughts, the more they are forced to respect the mystery that surrounds you. Silence is not just about keeping secrets. It's about self-respect. It's about knowing that not everyone deserves access to your mind, your emotions, your dreams. It's about protecting your energy from those who are not worthy of it. It's about choosing your words carefully so that when you do speak, people listen. Look around you. The people who are always talking, always sharing, always seeking validation, what happens to them? They become predictable. They lose power because everyone knows what they will do next. They reveal their entire playbook and by the time they realize it, they've already lost the game. But the ones who stay silent, they move differently. They don't announce their next step. They let their results speak instead. Imagine a scenario, two people are in a heated argument. One is shouting, trying to prove a point, getting emotional, losing control. The other is calm, composed, simply observing. Who has more power in that moment? The one who is screaming, or the one who is unshaken? The one who is desperate to be heard, or the one who doesn't need to explain themselves? Silence makes people uncomfortable because they are used to noise. They are used to instant access, to immediate reactions. But when you break that pattern, when you don't react, when you don't explain, when you don't give them the satisfaction of knowing everything, you take away their power over you. Even in relationships, silence is a game changer. When you stop explaining yourself, stop proving yourself, stop justifying every move, you shift the dynamic. The moment you stop chasing, people start noticing. The moment you stop explaining, people start questioning. The moment you stop giving everything away, people start valuing what little they do get from you. It's the same in business. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people don't talk about what they are doing until it's already done? They don't announce their every step. They move in silence, they build in silence, they win in silence. And when they finally reveal their success, the world is left wondering, how did they do it? There is an unmatched power in being unpredictable, in keeping people guessing, in making them wonder what you're thinking, what you're planning, what you're feeling. Because the truth is, the moment people figure you out, they stop respecting you. They stop being intrigued. They stop being curious. And when curiosity dies, influence fades. So ask yourself, are you giving away too much? Are you allowing people to read your every move, to predict your every thought? Or are you keeping some things for yourself, protecting your energy, maintaining that air of mystery that makes you untouchable? The choice is yours. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Some people haven't even earned the right to know your name, yet you hand them the keys to your mind, your emotions, your dreams, your struggles. And then, when they misuse that access, when they twist your words, betray your trust or drain your energy, you wonder why. But the truth is, you allowed them in. You gave them entry into places they had no business being. You wouldn't leave the door to your house wide open for just anyone to walk in, would you? So why do you do it with your soul? Your energy is your home. Your thoughts are your sanctuary. And your emotions are your most private treasures. You don't just give them away. You don't let just anyone hold them, because not everyone will protect them. Some will only come in to take what they need, and once they've had their fill, they will leave you empty. Look around you. How many times have you given people access to your life, thinking they cared, only to realize they were just collecting information? Some people are not interested in you. They are interested in knowing about you. There's a difference. They don't want to uplift you. They want to know your weaknesses. They don't want to support you. They want to monitor your progress to make sure you never surpass them. And the moment you do, they start resenting you. You must understand, people will smile at you, but that doesn't mean they want the best for you. People will listen to your secrets, but that doesn't mean they will keep them. People will ask about your dreams, but that doesn't mean they want to see you achieve them. Some people come close only to find out where your weak spots are, and once they know, they use them against you. Think about your past. Think about the people you trusted, the ones you told your plans to, the ones you let into your personal world. How many of them stayed? How many of them protected your trust? How many of them were genuinely happy for you? And how many used that access to hurt you? A person's intentions are not always pure. Some people are drawn to you because they see something in you that they lack. They admire your strength, but deep down they hope to see you break. They applaud your success, but in secret they hope you fail. They love being around you, but only because they want to figure out how you shine so effortlessly. These people don't want to grow. They just want to feed off your energy. You need to start treating access to you as a privilege. It is not free. It is not something that should be given out just because someone seems interested in you. Access must be earned. It must be granted only to those who have proven themselves worthy of it. You don't hand over the most valuable parts of yourself to people who have done nothing to deserve them. You must learn to observe. Watch how people act when you have nothing to give them. Watch how they respond when you say no. Watch how they treat you when you're at your lowest. Because that is when their true character is revealed. Some people will be there only when you are useful to them, only when you're entertaining, only when you are giving. The moment you stop feeding their needs, they disappear. And that is how you know. They were never meant to have access to you in the first place. Your peace is sacred. Your mind is sacred. Your dreams, your struggles, your thoughts, they are sacred. You do not hand them over to people who will mishandle them. You do not share them with those who will not value them. Because the wrong people will drain you, exhaust you, and leave you questioning your worth. Have you ever noticed how people react when you start pulling away? When you stop answering every call, when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop giving them unlimited access, they get uncomfortable. They start accusing you of changing, of being distant, of acting different. But what they're really saying is, I no longer have control over you, and I don't like that. Because the moment you take back access, you take back your power. Not everyone should know your next move. Not everyone should know your deepest fears. Not everyone should be allowed to sit at your table. Some people should only watch from a distance. Some people should only hear about your success after it has already happened. Some people should never get the chance to walk through the doors you've spent years building. Because the wrong people, given the right access, can destroy everything. So, be selective. Be intentional. Guard your energy as if it were gold. Because it is. Some people only come into your life to steal, to drain, to take. And once they have what they want, they leave. But the ones who deserve access, they will never make you question their intentions. They will never make you regret letting them in. And they will never take from you without also giving in return. People will always search for the cracks in your armor. They will listen carefully, not to understand you, but to find the places where you bend, where you break. The very things you share with vulnerability. The things that make you human. The moments you expose in raw honesty. Those can become the very weapons used against you. Have you ever noticed how people seem so interested in your struggles? How they lean in when you talk about your pain, your heartbreak, your failures? Some people do this because they care. But others? They do it because they are collecting information. They are gathering data on your weaknesses, storing it for later. And when the time comes, when they need leverage, when they feel threatened, when they want to control you, that's when they will use your own words against you. You tell someone about your biggest fear, and suddenly they make jokes about it in front of others. You confide in a friend about your past mistakes, and one day, in the middle of an argument, they throw it back at you like a knife, cutting you exactly where they know it will hurt the most. You share your insecurities, believing you are safe, only to hear them repeated by someone else's mouth, twisted, exaggerated, turned into gossip. People do not always attack you with their own strength. No, the smartest ones attack you using yours. They don't need to find new ways to break you. They use what you've already told them. They remind you of your past when you're trying to move forward. They highlight your flaws when you're finally learning to love yourself. They bring up your worst moments in times when you're trying to rebuild your confidence. You must understand, when you hand someone the map to your wounds, you cannot be surprised when they use it to hurt you. You cannot be shocked when they press where it hurts, when they push you where you are weakest. Because for some people, your vulnerability is not something to cherish. It is something to exploit. Think about a time when you were at your lowest. Who was there? Who saw your pain? Now think about what happened after. Did those people protect your pain, or did they expose it? Did they offer you safety, or did they use your struggles as a way to feel superior? Some people do not want to see you grow. They do not want to see you become stronger. Because the stronger you become, the less control they have. So they remind you of your weaknesses. They keep you small by making you doubt yourself. They make sure you never forget your failures. Because if you do, if you move past them, if you rise above them, you become too powerful for them to manipulate. Have you ever had someone support you until you started doing better than them? Have you ever had a person cheer for you until you gained confidence and then suddenly they started criticizing you? It is not always love that keeps people close to you. Sometimes it is their need to feel bigger by making you feel smaller. You must protect your weaknesses like they are your most valuable secrets. Not everyone deserves to know what makes you insecure. Not everyone should have access to your doubts, your fears, your struggles. Because the wrong person will take those things and use them to control you. They will remind you of your past, so you stay stuck. They will question your abilities, so you hesitate. They will plant doubt in your mind, so you never fully believe in yourself. Silence is a form of power. The less people know, the less they can use. The less you reveal, the harder it is for anyone to break you. When people don't know what scares you, they cannot use fear to control you. When they don't know your emotional triggers, they cannot manipulate you. When they don't know what makes you feel insecure, they cannot weaponize it against you. Imagine playing a game of chess where your opponent can see your every move before you make it. That is what happens when you reveal your weaknesses to the wrong people. They know exactly when to strike. They know exactly where you hesitate because you've given them all the information they need. People respect what they don't fully understand. The more mysterious you are, the more unpredictable you become. And when people can't predict you, they can't control you. When they don't know your weaknesses, they can't exploit them. When they don't know what you fear, they can't make you afraid. Some people act like they care just to gain access. They will sit with you in your pain, not because they want to heal you, but because they want to see where you're broken. And the moment they no longer need you, they will either leave or turn those very weaknesses against you. You must learn to observe people before you trust them. Watch how they speak about others, because that is exactly how they will speak about you when you're not around. Pay attention to how they react when you're at your weakest. Do they protect you, or do they store information for later? Do they uplift you, or do they use your struggles as silent weapons? Some people will pretend to love you just to get close enough to destroy you, and by the time you realize what has happened, they will have already taken what they needed. They will have already left you doubting yourself, questioning yourself, feeling like you are not enough. You must protect yourself. Not by never trusting, but by trusting wisely. Not by never sharing, but by sharing selectively. Because in the end, power is not just about what you show. It is also about what you choose to keep hidden. The loudest person in the room is often the weakest. The one who announces every plan, every move, every intention before it's even in motion is the one most vulnerable to failure. Because when people know your next move, they have the power to stop it. They have the chance to interfere, to sabotage, to cast doubt, to manipulate the outcome before you even get there. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people don't talk about what they're doing until it's already done? Have you ever wondered why? It's because they understand something that most people don't. Silence is power. The less people know, the less they can control. The less they can prepare. When you move in silence, when you keep your next steps private, you protect your vision from the eyes of those who do not want to see you win. Not everyone in your life is rooting for you. Not everyone clapping for you actually wants to see you succeed. Some people are only interested in your journey so they can track it, interfere with it, or secretly hope for your downfall. Some people will smile in your face, act like they support you, but behind closed doors, they are waiting for your failure, watching for the moment they can say, I knew it wouldn't work. And that is why your next move should always be private. Think about a chess game. The player who reveals their strategy too soon, the one who shows their moves before they're made, is the one who loses. Because in strategy, in war, in life, the element of surprise is everything. The moment you give people access to your next step, you give them the power to prepare against it. They can start influencing your path, not to help you, but to slow you down, to make you second guess yourself, to put obstacles in places where there were none before. How many times have you shared your dreams with someone only to hear words of doubt? Are you sure that's a good idea? What if it doesn't work? I don't think you're ready for that. And suddenly something you were so excited about feels small, feels uncertain. The moment you let someone into your plans, their energy, their fears, their doubts begin to mix with your vision. And if you are not strong enough, if you're not careful, their words will become your own. You will begin to question yourself. You will hesitate. And hesitation kills progress. Some people will even take your ideas and run with them. Have you ever told someone about something you were working on, only to see them do it first? Have you ever shared a dream, a plan, an idea, and then watched someone else bring it to life before you had the chance? Not everyone wants to steal from you, but some will. Not everyone wants to block your success, but some will. And the only way to prevent it? Move in silence. Let your results speak before your words do. Look at the most powerful figures in history. Do you think they spoke about their next move before they made it? No. They understood that power lies in execution, not in announcements. They understood that people cannot destroy what they do not know exists. They understood that true strength is in moving quietly, strategically, intentionally, without unnecessary exposure. Even in nature, the strongest predators do not announce their attack. They do not roar before they strike. They move silently, unseen, undetected, until the moment of impact. And that is how you should approach your life, your goals, your vision. Speak after you've succeeded. Reveal after you've secured. Show after you've built. But never give away your next move before it's time. Silence protects you from envy. It shields you from negativity. It keeps your energy focused on progress instead of on convincing others that your dreams are possible. Because the truth is, you don't need their approval, you don't need their validation, and you definitely don't need their permission. So the next time you feel the urge to announce your plans, to tell the world what you're about to do, stop. Ask yourself, why am I sharing this? Am I looking for encouragement, or am I seeking validation? Am I speaking out of excitement, or am I unknowingly exposing myself to unnecessary obstacles? There is a difference between moving forward and announcing that you are moving forward. One brings results, the other invites interference. One builds, the other exposes. One protects your vision, the other risks it. Keep your next move private. Work in silence. And when it's time to reveal, let your success be so loud that it drowns out every doubt, every obstacle, and every person who ever thought you couldn't do it. There is a kind of power that comes with being private. A kind of peace that most people will never experience because they don't know how to keep their lives to themselves. In a world where everyone feels the need to post their every thought, announce their every move, and showcase their every achievement, true peace belongs to those who understand the strength of privacy. Privacy is not about secrecy. It's about protection. It's about understanding that not everything is meant to be shared, not every moment needs an audience, and not every person deserves access to your life. The more you expose, the more you invite opinions, interference, and unnecessary noise. And noise disrupts peace. Think about it. The happiest moments of your life, were they the ones you shared with the world or the ones you kept to yourself? The most sacred relationships, were they strengthened by outside validation? Or did they grow in the quiet, in the privacy of real connection? The most successful moves, did they happen because you announced them or because you silently worked toward them without distractions? There is a reason why the most peaceful people are not the loudest ones. They do not need external approval. They do not crave validation. They are not driven by the need to prove anything to anyone. They are too focused on building, on growing, on moving forward, without the unnecessary weight of outside judgment. When you protect your privacy, you protect your energy, and when your energy is protected, your peace remains intact. Have you ever shared something personal, only to feel drained afterward? Have you ever opened up to the wrong person and regretted it? That's because every time you expose something sacred, you take a risk. A risk that someone will misunderstand it, misinterpret it, or worse, use it against you. People will project their fears onto you. They will try to place limits where there were none before. They will take your joy and question it. They will take your dreams and poke holes in them. And the moment you let them in, their energy mixes with yours. Their doubts become your doubts. Their negativity seeps into your space. And suddenly, what once felt exciting now feels uncertain. What once felt peaceful now feels heavy. Some people are not looking to support you. They are looking to study you. Some people are not interested in understanding you. They are interested in gathering information. And the more they know, the more power they have. Because what people know, they feel entitled to judge. What they have access to, they believe they can control. But the less they know, the less they can interfere. The less they know, the more protected your peace remains. Have you ever noticed that the happiest people don't explain themselves? They don't defend their choices. They don't seek approval. They don't waste time proving their worth to anyone. Because they are at peace with themselves, they know that their life is theirs to live, not a performance for others to critique. They understand that privacy is not isolation, it is self-preservation. And that is a lesson too many people learn the hard way. They learn it after their trust is broken, after their happiness is questioned, after their success is envied, after their personal life becomes the topic of conversation for people who have no business being involved. They learn it when they realize that the more they share, the more opinions they invite. And opinions, whether good or bad, are noise. And noise disrupts peace. You don't owe the world an explanation for your life. You don't owe anyone an inside look at your struggles, your relationships, your ambitions. Some things are meant to be kept sacred. Some moments are meant to be yours alone. And the more you understand this, the more peace you will find. There is a kind of strength in privacy that most people will never know. A kind of freedom that comes with keeping things to yourself. It is in that silence where growth happens. It is in that privacy where real connections are built. It is in that peace where true power exists. Because when no one knows your next move, no one can stop it. When no one knows your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. When no one has access to your energy, no one can drain it. Privacy is the armor that protects your peace. And peace is the foundation for a life that is truly yours. Why do you need someone to tell you that you are enough? Why do you crave approval before you take a step forward? Why do you let the opinions of others define your worth? Seeking validation is a dangerous habit. It places the key to your happiness in someone else's hands. It makes you a prisoner to their judgments, their approval, their applause. And what happens when they don't clap? What happens when they don't see your worth? Do you shrink? Do you question yourself? Do you stop moving? Too many people live their lives like performers on a stage, waiting for the audience to cheer before they believe in themselves. They hesitate, they doubt, they hold back, not because they lack ability, but because they lack approval. And that is the quickest way to lose yourself. When you depend on validation, you will never be free. Because one day they love you, the next day they don't. One day they admire you, the next day they criticize you. And if your confidence rises and falls with their opinions, you will never be stable. You will always be chasing approval like a drug, addicted to the high of acceptance and afraid of the crash of rejection. But here's the truth. The people who truly matter don't need you to prove yourself. And the people who demand proof will never be satisfied. Think about it. Have you ever won over someone who doubted you? Did their approval suddenly make you whole? Did their validation fill the emptiness inside you? Or did you find yourself chasing the next bit of praise, the next compliment, the next acknowledgement? That's because validation from others is temporary, but self-belief is permanent. You don't need a round of applause to confirm your greatness. You don't need a stamp of approval to justify your dreams. Your worth is not up for debate. Your value is not dependent on outside opinions. When you truly understand this, you become unstoppable. You stop explaining yourself. You stop waiting for permission. You stop hesitating every time someone questions you. Because you know who you are. And when you know who you are, the noise of the world doesn't shake you. Think of the most powerful, successful people in the world. Do you think they waited for permission before they chased their dreams? Do you think they asked for approval before they made bold moves? No. They believed in themselves when no one else did. They kept going even when the world doubted them. They did not let criticism stop them. They did not let rejection break them. They knew that validation is a game they would never win, so they stopped playing. And the moment they stopped seeking approval, they became truly free. Have you ever noticed that the people who are the most confident don't care about what others think? They don't explain their choices. They don't justify their dreams. They don't waste time trying to convince anyone of their worth. They walk into a room and own it. Not because someone told them they could, but because they decided they would. That's the energy you need to have. The kind of energy that says, I don't need you to believe in me. I believe in myself. But here's the problem. Most people don't trust themselves. They don't trust their own instincts, their own dreams, their own potential. So they look outside for answers. They ask, do you think I can do this? Do you think I'm good enough? And the moment someone hesitates, they start doubting themselves. They start shrinking. They start second guessing. And just like that, their power is gone. Stop giving people the power to decide your worth. Stop waiting for validation to move forward. You will never be everyone's favorite. You will never be universally accepted. Some people will always doubt you. Some people will always criticize you. Some people will never see your worth because they don't even see their own. And that has nothing to do with you. The day you stop seeking validation is the day you truly start living. It is the day you become fearless. It is the day you take full control of your life. Because when you don't need approval, you are free to take risks. You are free to be bold. You are free to fail and try again. You are free to walk away from what no longer serves you. You are free to be yourself without apology, without hesitation, without fear. No one will give you permission to be great. No one will hand you a certificate of approval for chasing your dreams. You have to decide right now that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you don't need validation to prove your value. Because the moment you understand this, nothing can stop you. There comes a time in life when you must step away from the noise, the distractions, the constant opinions, and the endless demands of the world. Growth doesn't happen in a crowded room filled with voices telling you who to be. It happens in silence, in solitude, in those moments when you are forced to face yourself. Most people fear isolation because they associate it with loneliness. They think being alone means they are unwanted, forgotten, or abandoned. But real isolation, the kind that fuels personal growth, is not about loneliness. It is about transformation. It is about stepping away from the chaos so that you can hear your own thoughts. It is about removing yourself from the influence of others so you can finally figure out who you truly are. Think about a seed. Before it grows into a mighty tree, where is it? It's buried deep in the soil, covered in darkness, completely alone. It doesn't get to see the sun right away. It doesn't get to show off its strength immediately. It spends time underground, growing roots, strengthening its foundation, preparing for the moment it will rise. But without that time of isolation, it would never survive. It would be too weak, too unsteady, too fragile. The same is true for you. Most people want growth, but they don't want the solitude that comes with it. They want success, but they don't want to step away from their comfort zones. They want transformation, but they don't want to be alone with their thoughts. So they fill their time with distractions. Endless scrolling, constant socializing, meaningless conversations. They surround themselves with noise so they never have to face the truth. And that truth is this: real growth is uncomfortable. It requires you to be alone. It requires you to sit with your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and your deepest desires. Have you ever noticed that the most powerful people in the world have moments of isolation? Athletes go into intense training camps, away from family, away from friends, away from the distractions of everyday life. Writers escape to quiet places to focus solely on their work. Spiritual leaders retreat into the mountains, away from society to gain wisdom and clarity. Why? Because they understand that personal growth requires solitude. They know that to become their best selves, they need time, away from external influences. But most people won't do this. They cling to relationships that drain them. They stay in environments that stunt their growth. They surround themselves with people who don't challenge them, who don't inspire them, who don't push them forward. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why they keep repeating the same cycles. They wonder why they never seem to grow. If you truly want to transform your life, you need to embrace isolation. Not forever, not as a permanent way of living, but as a necessary phase of growth. A phase where you step away from people who don't align with your vision. A phase where you remove distractions so you can focus on what really matters. A phase where you sit with yourself and ask the hard questions. Who am I? What do I really want? What is holding me back? Most people won't do this because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to stay distracted. It's easier to avoid introspection. It's easier to follow the crowd than to walk alone. But greatness is never found in comfort. Growth is never found in ease. If you truly want to become the person you are meant to be, you have to be willing to spend time in isolation. This is where you find clarity. This is where you build resilience. This is where you break free from old patterns and step into your power. Because when you remove external noise, you finally hear your own voice. When you let go of toxic relationships, you finally make space for the right ones. When you embrace solitude, you finally understand that you are enough on your own. The truth is, the world is always going to try to pull you in different directions. There will always be people who want your time, your energy, your attention. But if you are serious about personal growth, you need to learn to say no. You need to be willing to walk away. You need to be brave enough to spend time alone, to focus on yourself, to build the foundation you need to truly thrive. Because one day when you emerge from that isolation, you will not be the same person. You will be stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. And the people who once doubted you, the ones who didn't understand your need for solitude, will look at you in awe. They will wonder how you transformed, how you elevated, how you became unstoppable. But you will know the truth. You will know that growth is not found in crowds. It is found in isolation. It is found in the quiet moments when you decide to rise. People change. That's a fact of life. The person who swore they would always be there for you might become the one who walks away without a second thought. The friend who once celebrated your success might suddenly envy your growth. The partner who promised forever might wake up one day feeling differently. And the hardest part? There is nothing you can do to stop it. People change, and so do their intentions. What they once meant from the depths of their heart, they may no longer feel. The love they once gave so freely, they may now withhold. The promises they once made with certainty, they may now break without hesitation. It's not always betrayal, sometimes it's just life. People evolve, circumstances shift, emotions fade, and priorities rearrange. Think about it. How many times have you changed in your own life? The things you wanted 5 years ago are probably not the same things you desire today. Your mindset has shifted. Your dreams have expanded. Your standards have been raised. If you can change, why wouldn't others? The problem is, we expect people to remain constant. We hold on to their past versions, refusing to acknowledge that they might have outgrown who they used to be. We assume their intentions will always align with ours, that their loyalty will never waver, that their words will always hold the same meaning. But life doesn't work that way. One of the most painful lessons you will ever learn is that people are unpredictable. Someone can love you deeply today and feel nothing for you tomorrow. Someone can support you in one moment and secretly resent you in the next. Someone can swear their loyalty while plotting against you behind closed doors. And the mistake most people make is ignoring the signs. How many times have you sensed a shift in someone's energy and brushed it off? How many times have you felt the distance growing, but convinced yourself it was just in your head? How many times have you given someone chance after chance, believing they would return to the person they used to be? Wake up! People are who they show you they are, not who they used to be. Not who they claim to be, not who you wish they were. You need to learn to accept change, not fear it. If someone's energy toward you shifts, don't chase them. If someone's words no longer match their actions, believe the actions. If someone's presence starts feeling heavy, don't beg them to stay. It is not your job to hold on to people who have already let go of you. It is not your responsibility to keep relationships alive when the other person has lost interest. You will save yourself from heartbreak, disappointment, and betrayal if you master this. People's intentions are temporary. What they feel for you today is not guaranteed tomorrow. What they promise in the moment may not be true forever, and that's okay. Because the real ones, the ones meant for you, their consistency will speak for itself. You don't have to beg real love to stay. You don't have to prove your worth to someone who truly values you. You don't have to fear losing someone who genuinely wants to be in your life, because real connections are not based on convenience. They are based on commitment. But here's the truth. Most people in your life are temporary. Some are lessons, some are experiences, some are reminders of what you should never tolerate again. And when their time is up, you must let them go. Do not hold on to expired relationships just because you shared good memories. Do not keep someone in your life out of nostalgia or obligation. People's intentions shift like the wind, and you cannot build your peace on unstable ground. You will know when someone's heart is no longer in it. You will feel the absence in their presence. You will sense the hesitation in their words. You will notice the distance in their actions. And when you do, don't wait for them to break you. Walk away with your dignity intact. The person who was your biggest supporter yesterday might envy you today. The friend who once celebrated your success might feel threatened by your growth. The partner who once adored you might take you for granted tomorrow. It's not always because they are bad people. Sometimes it's just human nature. So stop expecting permanence in a world that is constantly changing. Stop assuming that just because someone was good to you once, they will always be good to you. Stop believing that just because someone once had the right intentions, You cannot control how people change, but you can control how you respond to it. You can either spend your life mourning the loss of who they used to be, or you can rise, evolve, and align yourself with those who are meant to walk the next part of your journey with you. There is something undeniably powerful about a person who doesn't reveal too much, a person who doesn't explain their every move, who doesn't wear their emotions on their sleeve, who keeps people guessing. That is the essence of true attraction. Mystery is magnetic. It pulls people in, makes them curious, and keeps them wanting more. Think about it. Why do people become obsessed with puzzles? Why do they crave the thrill of the unknown? Because the mind is wired to seek answers, to unravel what is hidden, to understand what is not immediately obvious. When everything about you is laid out in the open, there is nothing left to chase. No reason to wonder, no reason to stay intrigued. But when you master the art of mystery, you become unforgettable. You stand out in a world where people overshare, where everyone is desperate for attention, where validation is sold cheap, when you remain unpredictable, when your next move is unknown, when your words leave space for imagination, you naturally draw people in. Look around. The most captivating individuals are not the loudest ones. They are not the ones constantly explaining themselves, seeking approval, or trying too hard to impress. No, the ones who truly hold power are the ones who operate in silence. The ones who walk into a room with presence, without the need to announce themselves. The ones who speak only when necessary, leaving people hanging on to every word. Mystery is confidence. It is the ability to stand in your own power, without the need to prove anything to anyone. It is knowing that you do not have to explain your every decision, your every emotion, your every thought. It is understanding that people will respect you more when they do not have full access to you. When you reveal too much, you give away your power. The moment someone feels like they have figured you out completely, they stop being intrigued. They stop valuing you the same way. It's human nature. We take for granted what we fully understand, but we crave what remains just out of reach. Think about the people you have been drawn to in your life. The ones who held your attention the longest were not the ones who told you everything about themselves right away. They were the ones who had layers. The ones who revealed themselves piece by piece. The ones who left you wanting to know more. It's the same with attraction. Whether in relationships, friendships, or even business, being mysterious gives you an advantage. It makes people work harder to understand you. It keeps them engaged. It ensures that they never feel like they completely have you. Have you ever noticed how the moment someone becomes too available, too predictable, too easy to read, the excitement fades? It's because certainty kills curiosity. When someone knows exactly what you will do next, exactly what you will say, exactly how you will react, there is no thrill left. But when you move differently, when you don't always respond the way people expect, when you keep certain things to yourself, you become a challenge. And people are drawn to challenges. Being mysterious doesn't mean being distant or playing games. It means having depth. It means not always saying everything that crosses your mind. It means knowing the value of silence, of leaving things unsaid, of letting people wonder. It means choosing carefully what you share and with whom. In today's world, where social media makes oversharing the norm, mystery has become rare. People post their every thought, every plan, every relationship detail for the world to see. And what happens? The moment something goes wrong, they have to explain themselves, they have to defend their choices, they have to deal with unnecessary opinions, judgments, and energy they never needed in the first place. But when you move in silence, when you keep parts of yourself sacred, you avoid all of that. You protect your peace. You control your own narrative. Imagine you are building something, whether it's a dream, a relationship, a new version of yourself. If you tell everyone about it before it's solid, you give them the power to interfere. Some will doubt you. Some will try to talk you out of it. Some will secretly hope you fail. But if you keep it to yourself, if you let your success speak for itself, no one can take it from you. The most powerful moves are made in silence. The most attractive people are the ones who don't explain everything, the ones who let people wonder, the ones who have an aura of mystery, an energy that keeps people intrigued. So, don't be an open book. Be a story that unfolds one chapter at a time. Let people earn the right to know you. Keep them guessing, and you will always be unforgettable. People talk. They talk about their plans, their goals, their dreams. They shout about what they're going to do, how they're going to make it big, how they're going to prove everyone wrong. But here's the truth. Talking does nothing. It does not move mountains. It does not create impact. It does not leave a legacy. Action does. Results do. Success speaks louder than any words ever will. Look around. The people who are truly successful, the ones who command respect, the ones who are admired, they don't waste time explaining themselves. They don't need to. Their work, their achievements, their presence says everything for them. They walk into a room and people already know. They don't have to announce what they're doing because their results are undeniable. On the other hand, the ones who are always talking, always making promises, always trying to convince others of their greatness, where do they end up? Stuck in the same place. Because while they were busy talking, someone else was out there working. Someone else was out there making moves in silence. Someone else was proving their worth without a single word. The world does not reward noise. It rewards results. It rewards consistency, effort, and discipline. It rewards the ones who wake up every day and put in the work, even when no one is watching, even when no one is applauding, even when no one believes in them yet. Think about an athlete training for the Olympics. Do they spend their days telling the world how great they are going to be? No. They wake up before the sun rises. They push themselves harder than anyone else. They train when no one is looking. And when the moment comes, when they step onto the track, onto the field, onto the stage, there is no need for words. Their performance says it all. Their success speaks for them. It's the same with you. You don't need to convince people. You don't need to prove anything with words. Just do the work. Stay quiet. Stay focused. Let your success make the noise for you. There will always be people who doubt you. People who say you can't do it. People who think you will fail. Don't waste your energy arguing with them. Don't waste your breath trying to convince them otherwise. Just keep building, keep improving, keep moving forward. And one day they won't need an explanation. They will see it for themselves. Think about the most iconic names in any field. Business, sports, entertainment, innovation. Did they spend their time talking about what they were going to do? No. They let their work do the talking. They let their results silence the doubters. They let their success be the proof. You have a choice. You can either talk about it or you can be about it. You can waste time explaining yourself or you can use that time to create something undeniable. People respect results. People respect those who deliver. Anyone can talk, but very few can show up and prove it. Be the one who proves it. Be the one who doesn't just dream but executes. Be the one who turns vision into reality. Imagine you're working on a project, a goal, a dream. If you tell everyone about it before you even start, you invite opinions, doubts, and distractions. Some people will secretly hope you fail. Some will try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. But if you keep your head down, stay focused, and let your success unfold naturally, there will be no need for explanations. Your results will speak for themselves. There is a power in silence. a power in moving in the shadows, working in the background, building when no one is watching. And when the time is right, when your work is ready, when your success is undeniable, that is when you let the world see. That is when you step into the light, not because you need validation, but because your results demand attention. So stop explaining, stop justifying, stop trying to prove your worth with words. Show them. Show them through your work. Show them through your discipline. Show them through your success. Let the results speak so loudly that no words are ever needed. The world does not remember those who spoke about greatness. It remembers those who became great. The names that echo through history are not the ones who boasted about their potential, but the ones who proved it with their results. When you think of the legends, the game changers, the icons, do you remember their words? Or do you remember their achievements? Do you remember what they said? Or do you remember what they did? Success is not built on announcements. It is built on quiet, relentless effort. It is built in the early mornings when no one is watching. In the late nights when others have given up. In the moments of solitude when you choose work over distraction. Every great empire was built brick by brick, not by talking about the blueprint. The problem with most people is they are too busy explaining their dreams to people who are too small to understand them. They waste their energy seeking validation from those who will never applaud them, waiting for approval from people who secretly don't want them to win. But champions don't need permission. They don't need confirmation. They don't wait for the right moment. They create it. Your success is your voice. Your achievements are your response. Let your results be the only explanation you ever need. Let the world see you rise without a single word. Because the loudest power is the one that does not need to announce itself. The most unstoppable force is the one that does not seek recognition. People will doubt you, let them. People will question you, let them. People will talk behind your back, underestimate you, try to predict your failure, let them. Because while they waste their breath, you will be using yours to build something legendary. And when they finally see what you have created, there will be silence, not yours, but theirs. The doubters, the naysayers, the critics, they will have nothing left to say. The lion does not need to prove it is the king. It does not roar to convince the jungle of its power. Its presence alone is enough. And so should you be. Walk with quiet confidence, move with silent determination. Work in the dark and shine so brightly that no one can ignore you when the time comes. Success is not about proving them wrong, it is about proving yourself right. It is about becoming so great that your results force them to respect you. It is about rising so high that their opinions become irrelevant. When you succeed, you don't need to explain. When you win, you don't need to justify. So stop talking. Stop seeking validation. Stop waiting for someone to recognize your potential. Go and build it. Go and make it undeniable. Go and make them regret ever doubting you. The stage is yours. The moment is yours. The time is now. Make them watch in silence as you succeed. Let them realize, too late, that the person they once doubted is now the person they cannot ignore.